Let's get some analysis of the position of the presidential candidates, Muhammadu Buhari of the APC and Atiku Abubakar of the PDP, on security, corruption and the economy. We've got two gentlemen here with us. Philip Kachuku is a member of the All Progressives Congress, a national leader of the Change We Believe movement. And we also have Dr. Doyin Okukwe, who is a PDP chieftain and former presidential spokesman. Gentlemen, welcome to Africa54. Now, both candidates have been speaking about those three items which we mentioned. The president was speaking about security. He's of the view that before now, Boko Haram occupies some territories in the northeast, but now it's different. But Alhaji Atiku Abubakar believes that, look, this challenge has festered for a long time. Let me start with you, Dr. Kukwe. Is the president right?
No, I'm sorry. I don't think the president is correct. I understand he says that prior to when the APC came into, when the administration came, that some 7, 8 or 9 local governments were under Boko Haram control. That is not really true. If you remember, we had to postpone the election in order to really do mop-up operations to guarantee the safety of the electorate who are supposed to vote in 2015. And by the time, I think we had 6 weeks extension. By the time that expired, virtually Boko Haram had been driven completely out, and everywhere was declared safe. As also you envious by the results. The results of the election, the turnout, the voter turnout in the northeast was almost 95%, by far bigger than even the southwest that didn't have any issues.
He raised a number of issues. Do you agree with that?
I beg to differ.
On which ones now?
On some of the things he just said, especially when you talk about local government. It was about 15 local government that was head by Boko Haram before APC came into power. And he tried to say that those places were liberated before the election. They were not. The only thing they did...
15 local governments?
Yes, 15 local governments.
Because the president didn't say 15.
Well, it's about 15. It's about 15 local governments.
But the president said 7 or 8.
But if you can check what he said at the campaign kickoff, about 15 local governments. He might have just said 7, but the fact is that Boko Haram had local government under their control in Nigeria before APC came into power. And PDP didn't do anything. They didn't chase them out. Those times he just said was the time for them to do 1 or 2 campaigns to see if they can muster more.
Oh, he said that the results of the elections that
there were results from every local government
based on the number that was pulled out. That's what he's saying. And that's what I'm saying. It's not because they chased out what's it called, Boko Haram.
So how did they vote? How did they vote? How did the electorate, how did the people in those local governments, how did they vote?
Those people took risks because they were tired of PDP governments. They came out to say, if we have to die, we have to die. But we must do what? We must vote.
And we must vote out. Voter turnout.
Yes.
The most courageous people must be living in the northeast.
They took that risk because they were tired of PDP.
Let's move on to economy.
Yeah.
Owing to our time. But can they play politics with figures?
Technically, we're out of recession, but we're still growing at a very low pace. GDP rate of about 1.9%. Whether we're out of recession or not, there's hunger in this land. There's poverty in this land. There's a lot of human degradation based on abject poverty.
Let's go to response because the PDP candidate was speaking about his criticizing the state of the economy. He talks about unemployment issues. Is it right to have raised those points?
Before I go there, I want to respond to what he said about the Nigerian economy. I thank God he acknowledged that we're out of recession, but what people say is that we're not out of recession. I thank God he said about 90 million. How did he come about the numbers? And let me go about that experiment. If for a fact we have good database in this country, I tell you, they will say they lost job, so place. Let the Bureau of Statistics go and find out those people that lost their job or resigned. What are they doing? Many of them have created jobs.
What figures did you see?
I can't brand any figure. but I know it's not up to what they say.
So how do we measure this?
Okay, because let me, how I measure it is, I want to use my own sector, for example, or area I stay, in Lekki. Go to Lekki, he knows it. Businesses have to be created. Who are the people that created this business? People that lost their jobs. And, Shabali, creating these businesses, they're employing people. The only issue we have, Shabali, hold on. The only issue we have is probably the salary is not enough to do one or two things.
But as you say, there's no standard of measurement. So to what extent can we rely on just what you highlighted now?
I'm not saying that, I'm saying the accurate standard, not that there's no standard of measurement.
Let me add this. Part of what the president also spoke about was how they are diversifying the economy in the area of agriculture. Can we say that there hasn't been any improvement whatsoever?
Let me tell you, I'm not going to sit down here and say that a government is in the office for 3.5 years, budget a year in, year out, and then say, oh, they didn't do nothing. That's not true. Some efforts have been made, but they are little and insufficient.
Your response to that?
APC government in 3 years, through crude oil, they had less than $100 million. PDP in 4 years has almost $400 million US. What did they do with it? With less than $100 million, we've done so much.
Both of them spoke on the fight against corruption. The president says, well, now they've been able to put in place checks and balances to ensure that the fight against corruption has some template, a structure, a format, so that they can get some results. But the PDP presidential candidate says that stronger laws and processes need to be put in place to try those who are accused of corruption. Let's go with you this time.
Well, you know, Mr. President came out from military background, and he would have loved to do it different, where he would just say, that guy is corrupt, or by the time they check, even when they indict them, because they have so much money, they can rent as many sons as possible. They know how our legal system works, so they don't get bothered. By the time you take them to court, it drags here today, tomorrow, and everything. The president is doing well. EFCC have prosecuted a lot of people. We've recovered a lot of money.
The PDP says stronger laws need to be put in place. Is it right or not?
No, sure. Even APC government will agree to that. We need stronger laws. And that is why even National Assembly, those are the things National Assembly should be even doing, that from drama they're doing, NASA and everything. These are the things they should be doing. They don't think about common men. If they think about common men, all these kind of things will be done. Then we can nip that corruption.
Okay. So while the president on his part says, look, checks and balances have been put in place, do you see that?
Now, you see, Chebani, I would like to discuss corruption as a non-partisan issue, really. Corruption is endemic in Nigeria. It has been in our systems even in the 1880s. I read books where people talk about corruption, even in Nigeria as of that time. Now, what we're doing now is not really a fight. And I with all due respect, I'm not talking as a PDP man. I'm just talking about somebody who is bothered, because corruption has eaten into the fabric of this society.
So have you not seen any form of checks and balances now?
There's no checks. All we're doing is chasing political opponents and being extremely vindictive, trying to punish somebody for something. But that does not work in corruption. Hold on, Chamberlain. To fight corruption, first of all, find out what are the causes of corruption. You cannot fight corruption with corruption. If the government does not obey the rule of law, then it cannot fight corruption.
Chamberlain, yes, check and balances. TSC is number one. Why are people crying that we don't have money? Because there's TSC. A man that goes to the club and spend 1, 2, 5 million on drinks, champagne, and everything, because he gets the money very easy. One man buys 10, I'm into real estate. One man buys 20, 30 properties. Real estate agents will make money and they say, yes, there's everything is working well. But we're building cash on the air.
What checks and balances are there?
That's what I'm saying. TSS is one of it. Because you can't just take...
Which other ones?
Chabali, I just want to tell you, you're a media man. You heard that a parastatal will have almost 50 accounts that have been closed. Other part of the check is that they're making sure that every contract, every parastatal...
That has been there before.
It wasn't there. Obviously, said last time that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar was one of the biggest headaches she had when she was in due process. So it was not working. Even after that, even government after government of PDP, they were not following due process. Due process was just there as an office, not as a system. But PMG is making sure that the system is working.
So what new laws, for instance, would we require to enhance it?
Let us put technology into everything that we're doing. You know, if I need to apply for a contract, right, let it be online. So number one, I don't need to bribe anybody. So, you know, we must bring in technology. Once you bring in technology into it, you will reduce corruption by a very, very large.
You don't agree with technology coming in?
I agree with technology, but having right people to operate that technology.
No, technology is
can be manipulated. I mean, they say garbage. They say garbage in, garbage out.
Your telephone will call your enemy as well as your friend. Doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Garbage in,
we will
garbage
end on
out.
that controversial note, gentlemen. Dr. Doyon Kupe, former presidential spokesperson and a member of the PDP, and Mr. Philip Kachuku, a member of the APC and leader the Change We Believe in movement. Gentlemen, thank you for coming on this today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, and this concludes our special edition of Africa54 for today. You can also visit us online at voaafrica.com. I'm Vincent McCory in Washington. Chamberlain also has our last word from Lagos.
Thanks, Vincent. We look forward to bringing you another show next week. ChannelsTV.com is your source for news, sports, and other programming. I'm Chamberlain Uso. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.